And so don't fit yourself into a box that doesn't align with your authenticity and your alignment. Because truth is one straight ahead movement. It's one really seeing of a compass that you set. And that's the authentic expression of you, is your purpose, your desire for truth. And any misalignment becomes just uncomfortable. The gap between the alignment and where you're heading, you could say that's the tension. I love that Chinese proverb. It's like tension is trying to be someone you're not. Relaxation is who you are. So we're getting some continuity here. And today, which kind of makes sense with this topic, I wanted to say, what do you really want? Like, what do you truly want? Because we start off, usually, if you're into spirituality, it's a very strange thing to be into to start with, because everything in the world seems to be against, or seemingly against, looking for release from the world, or release from attachment to anything other than yourself, anything other than being who you are. This is what we start to look into. It seems very strange to be interested in, it usually starts off as like self-help or helping the self, and it always really is self-help. I mean, this whole thing is, I've always thought, the more selfish you are for truth, and the self with a capital S, the more authentic you are, and the quicker the uprootings are. And the greatest gift for anyone else that seems to be on the screen of your consciousness is always your own transformation, your own awakening. And so we start off the path usually with this idea of happiness, release, joy, bliss. But a common pitfall of spirituality is losing sight of what we actually know to be true in our heart, which is that we deserve full love, full bliss of who we are. Who we are is just pure ecstasy, pure joy. Joy is all that matters. And then we get the questions like, well, I've got all of this layers to work through, all of this, you don't understand my trauma and repression. And I do, I really do. I really don't want to create videos around like negating people's experience, but this has to be an invitation to step into responsibility, to step into deciding to free yourself. It is a choice. It really is a choice. And I can't not give that as an invitation to those that are ready, because I can't take responsibility for unwillingness of others. I can just radiate a frequency that I know to be true. And I really, really invite you, only if it feels ready, only if this resonates, if whatever path you're on resonates more, you probably wouldn't be on this video anyway. But I invite you to step into a power that refines what it wants. It refines that it does want joy. It doesn't want arduous, long indulgences of some kind of story of victimization. This is what I'm trying to just open the frequency to as a space, because there's a great video that online, I think it was Bentino, it's like, what's the difference between holding space and indulgence? I urge you to look into any self-defining limitations that give some kind of distant future to your healing. Healing is always a choice now, and it's only a healing of perception, a perception of a wound. The wound is an attempt of separation that never occurred, and so as we know, we're only dealing with perceptions of ourselves. So as you're raising your frequency, all that's happening is really, this is all about self-love, because it's a perspective of yourself that's so much more clarified. Your perspective of yourself becomes so much deeper into who you truly are as a limitless nature of being. And we know this when we start off, but then we go into this kind of sometimes into a trap of, well, this is going to take some time. No, this is now. This is always a choice. Usually, rigid discipline is a compensation for the unwillingness to give yourself the gift of love, of yourself. So many times you see like how many hours should I meditate? This. And you just want to go up to them, give them a hug and say, you are enough. Now if we are going to do inquiry, let's look into any reasons you believe that who you are is not willing and not ready to accept the love and the joy that's trying to come through. I would go as far as saying all repressed sensation, all repressed energy is just joy in all of its ways that it tries to come through you. As a child, all that wanted to come through a child that is lucky enough to not be conditioned straight from birth is just joy. Joy is the natural state. And so all of these different ways that we are really releasing the valves is really just, where am I repressing my natural state, my authentic self of joy and love? Maybe there's a juice to something else other than accepting that if I wanted to start to open to happiness, open to joy, open to these higher frequencies, maybe there is something in the system that's rejecting that because they feel as though they need to keep on at something else. But this is an invitation for anyone that may be repressing the higher frequencies out of maybe unwillingness, unworthiness, that they don't even want to really give up their stories, This is what the invitation is. There's so much joy that wants to come through you, as I always say. And so authentic repression is really just repression of your light. Light needs no reason to shine. So I resonate with you. If you're watching this video and you resonate with me, there's no way if we were to meet in the street that I wouldn't resonate with you. I would completely, even if we have different preferences in life about tastes and stuff, the frequency we'd really get on. And so don't fit yourself into a box that doesn't align with your authenticity and your alignment. Because truth is one straight ahead movement. It's one really seeing of a compass that you set. And that's the authentic expression of you, is your purpose, your desire for truth. And any misalignment becomes just uncomfortable. The gap between the alignment and where you're heading, you could say that's the tension. I love that Chinese proverb. It's like tension is trying to be someone you're not. Relaxation is who you are. Something along those lines. So bringing it back to this of what do you really want? We all really want release. We all really want joy deep down. But then there's also subtle beliefs on top that say, well, these stories serve me in some way. These limiting beliefs, these victim stories serve me in some way. Holding on to this emotion serves me in some way. You can't really deal with emotion in that way. You deal with the beliefs around these resistances, and that lid is what comes off. And so if you're clinging to a certain framework, there must be a belief in the system that says this is serving you in some way. And so look at that and drop that. And then see, what do I even feel worthy of joy? Do I even feel worthy of peace and happiness? Because a lot of us are self-sabotaging. You don't need to do it. You can drop that. All right. I love you.